Several new developments in South Suburban Dalton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial reports.
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances while the township's
Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, has once again found herself at the center of controversy, and this time it's leaving many speechless. Despite her position as a public servant and a reported six-figure salary exceeding $300,000, annually, Henyard is facing an eviction notice for non-payment of rent, with reports indicating she is months overdue. This revelation has left many questioning how someone with such substantial earnings could find themselves in such a predicament. However, as more details emerge, it appears that this situation is far more complex and contentious than it initially seemed, further tarnishing Henyard's already embattled reputation.
We knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. But like I said, you have to...
Let's start with the basics. Henyard is reportedly 3 months behind on her rent, and we're not talking about mansion-level expenses. The rent is believed to be just $100 per month. Yes, you read that correctly. A person earning a salary that most can only dream of is struggling to cover such a modest amount. Adding to the intrigue, Henyard's name isn't the only one on the lease. Her associate, Camel Woods, is also connected to the property, raising even more questions. This puzzling situation has left many baffled, with speculation swirling about. What's really happening? Could there be subletting involved, or is something else unfolding behind the scenes?
Finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany.
The situation took an even stranger turn when the eviction notice was formally issued on September 18th, giving Henyard and her associate, Woods, just 5 days to vacate the property. The amount owed was reportedly $3,350 in back rent. Henyard's IR attorney quickly stepped in, claiming the entire situation was based on false pretenses. This, of course, raises even more questions. Is the claim of false pretenses suggesting that Henyard never signed the lease? Or is it implying that she had actually paid the rent? Could this all simply be a major misunderstanding? Rather than clearing things up, the incident has only added fuel to the fire, leaving many wondering where the real confusion lies.
Do anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No.
The eviction story is just another chapter in Tiffany Henyard's lengthy history of scandals. According to some, her name has previously made headlines for all the wrong reasons, and many people view this as just the most recent instance of her dubious financial practices. Additionally, Henyard has previously been accused of using taxpayer funds for private pleasures, such as extravagant travel to destinations like Las Vegas. And we're not just talking about renting expensive cars or throwing lavish street parties. These expenses are reportedly in the tens of thousands, if not more. Just last month, she staged a massive street celebration in her town, further solidifying her reputation for being overly generous with public funds.
Guilty of all 9 counts. I believe he's cooperating. And if you cooperate, you have to admit you're...
Since it seems unlikely that someone would simply forget to pay rent for 3 months, especially while managing public funds, could this eviction signal that Henyard is facing financial difficulties? If she's falling behind on something as basic as rent, what other financial troubles might be lurking behind the scenes? Are things spiraling out of control, or could these missed payments be part of a more deliberate strategy? Some speculate that Henyard may be making a calculated move, positioning herself to argue, "If I were really stealing all this money, why can't I afford my rent?" It's a stretch, but given her record, almost anything seems plausible.
The government always does it, is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're...
Henyard's legal background paints a troubling picture. Public court records reveal a history of legal issues, with dozens of cases either recently settled or still pending against her, many unrelated to her role as mayor. This pattern stretches back to 2012 and encompasses a range of matters, including disputes over bank loans and personal financial obligations. It portrays someone who has been grappling with financial and legal challenges for years, adding yet another layer to the controversy surrounding her leadership.
Chief of police late last year without any approval from the village board. So now Robert Collins has filed a lawsuit again.
Rumors suggesting that Henyard may not even live in the house from which she is being evicted have added another layer of intrigue to the situation. Some insiders speculate that the property might be a trap house, not in the musical sense, and There are allegations linking it to potential unlawful activities. This speculation has been fueled by claims that Henyard and Woods have reportedly denied the property owner access to conduct inspections. Given that most leases include clauses allowing owners to inspect their properties, their refusal has only intensified suspicions. What might they be trying to hide, and why escalate concerns by blocking routine inspections? The unanswered questions only deepen the mystery surrounding this case.
That's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel to figure out their next.
Let's revisit Henyard's reaction to all of this.
Henyard's issues extend far beyond unpaid rent. A Freedom of Information Act request reportedly uncovered troubling accounting practices within a grant project managed by K.L. Woods, sparking allegations of financial mismanagement within her administration. Public grants, including funds intended for youth projects, appear to have been mishandled. Payments to individuals and organizations have raised serious red flags, such as Anthony Butler reportedly receiving over $66,000 for reasons that remain unclear. This is just one example among many, suggesting that Henyard's financial difficulties are not isolated to her personal life, but may point to broader systemic issues under her leadership.
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
Henyard has addressed the controversies through her attorney, asserting that the accusations are part of a coordinated smear campaign orchestrated by her adversaries. She claims she is under attack by what she describes as a dishonest board of trustees intent on discrediting her and undermining the will of the people. However, with a financial investigation underway, numerous charges surfacing, and evidence of poor management mounting, her narrative as a victim is becoming increasingly difficult to sustain. Public sentiment in Dalton has turned against her, with residents voicing growing dissatisfaction. Some have even gone so far as to label her America's worst mayor, a sentiment that resonates given the alarming revelations about her leadership and actions.
Things as the supervisor, there will be no comments, there will be anything. It'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you what.
The issues surrounding Henyard's financial management go beyond just grants and rent payments. Allegedly, the FBI is investigating her use of taxpayer funds for personal purposes, including the exorbitant cost of her security detail, which has drained the town's budget by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Additionally, she faces scrutiny over claims of mismanaged police overtime and questionable security expenses, some of which occurred while Henyard was out of town for personal reasons. This not only raises red flags about her spending habits, but also underscores a troubling pattern of prioritizing personal comfort over fiscal responsibility. When already under intense scrutiny for dubious financial practices, these revelations only add fuel to the fire and undermine her credibility, particularly when taxpayer dollars are being used for luxury expenditures like first-class travel.